Beneath the haze of the milk of the poppy, Eddard Stark drifted into an old dream. No, not a dream, but a memory, sharpened and softened by time in equal measure. The dream always began the same way. The wind at the Tower of Joy, the red mountains of dawn looming like silent witnesses. His horse moved beneath him, and his companions rode close. Howland Reed, small and watchful. Lord Willam Dustin, proud and grim. Ethan Glover, loyal to the last. Martyn Cassel, quiet steel. Theo Wull, all raw strength. And Sir Mark Ryswell, cold as a drawn blade. 7 they were, against 3. But the 3 were no common foes. They were the white shadows of the Kingsguard, sworn to protect the royal line until death. Lord Commander Gerold Hightower, the White Bull. Sir Oswell Whent, stalwart and sure. And Sir Arthur Dayne, the sword of the morning, whose blade, Dawn, gleamed pale as milk glass in the sun. Legends, all of them. Ned had sought them before, on the banks of the Trident, at the sack of King's Landing, through the long hunger of the siege of Storm's End, but never found them. Only here, in this lonely place, keeping watch over a tower where Rhaegar Targaryen had hidden his last secret, did they stand their ground. Rhaegar was dead, but they did not yield. The clash was fierce and without quarter. Dawn's pale edge flashed, and men fell. Willam Dustin cut down. Theo Wull driven to his knees. Martyn Cassel, faithful Martyn, breathing his last in the dust. One by one they fell, until only Ned and Howland Reed stood amid the dead. And beyond the blood and ruin, Lyanna's cries echoed from within the tower. He always woke before the end, before the promise was made. But this time, he lingered, saw her pale face upon the bed, the scent of blood and roses thick in the air, her fingers clutching his. And then, Ned, Vayon Poole's voice cut through the fog. He blinked awake, pain and memory swirling together. 6 days, Poole told him. 6 days he had slept, and King Robert commanded his presence. Too weak to walk, Ned asked that the king come to him instead. Alyn entered. Jory was gone, dead in the streets. Jaime Lannister had fled the city. Guards were doubled. His daughters had kept vigil at his bedside. Jory, Heward, Will, silent now, bound for the cold north in the care of the silent sisters. Ned thought of Martyn Cassel, buried in the Dornish marches with the others, and the dream returned, heavy as doom. He did not think it boded well to dream that dream now. When Poole announced Robert and Cersei, Ned felt the chill in his bones. No good would come of her presence here. He ordered the others out. What passed between them would be for their ears. Robert entered in a foul mood. Did Ned know what his wife had done? Ned answered plain. Catelyn was blameless, acting under his authority. Robert was not appeased. 7 dead. 8, Cersei corrected, and he would not tolerate such bloodshed. Ned was to release Tyrion Lannister and make peace with Jaime. Peace. Ned's anger flared. 3 of his own, cut down before his eyes, butchered in the street so Jaime could prove a point. Cersei's eyes were sharp, her tongue sharper. She painted Ned's men as drunken attackers returning from a brothel. Ned's voice was calm but cold. Robert knew him better than that. Littlefinger would confirm it. Robert's reply was bitter. Littlefinger had confirmed only that Ned came from a brothel, and so Ned told him. He had gone there to see Robert's bastard daughter. Robert sneered at the name she bore. Ned bit back his fury, demanding how a 15-year-old girl could be expected to choose more wisely. She was in love, and love seldom bowed to sense. Ned asked for leave to bring Jaime to justice. Robert refused. Angry. Leave it alone. Make peace. Ned's voice hardened. Coldly. If that was Robert's justice, he was glad to no longer be hand. Cersei's lips curled. Mockingly, if any man had spoken so to a Targaryen. Robert's roar cut her short. Roaring. Did she take him for Ares? But she pressed on, calling him no king at all, shaming him with words of armor and skirts. Robert's hand came fast and heavy, the crack of it echoing off the stone. Cersei fell, then rose with a smile like a knife, promising to wear the bruise as a badge of honour, before Sir Meryn Trant led her away. Robert sagged into his grief. Sadly, did Ned see what she did to him? He should not have struck her, but how does one fight an enemy you cannot touch? And then, the words that would linger, somberly, Rhaegar won, he took Lyanna, and Robert was left with Cersei. Ned urged him to talk, but Robert was done with talk. He would hunt tomorrow. Whatever Ned had to say could wait. Ned reminded him he would be gone by then, bound for Winterfell as commanded. Robert hurled the hand's badge to the bed. Angry, Ned would not leave. Daenerys was mentioned. Robert's voice was final. Finality. It was done. Why, Ned asked, questioning, keep him as hand if his counsel meant nothing? Robert's answer was simple, flatly. Someone had to rule. And if Ned resigned again, Robert swore, the badge would go to Jaime Lannister. And with that, the king was gone, leaving the room colder than before.